In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple card using one technique with the JND 447 Get Well set. So I'm going to make a card like this where you've basically got the sentiment hanging. I think this is beautiful for making smaller, simpler cards. And something when you just want to say a message, just simply like, get well soon, little flower, pop your message inside, and these will fit on 5x7 standard card blanks, so fit absolutely perfectly. But they've also done exactly the same technique using the JND 446 birthday sentiments. So here you can see we've got with love, best wishes, celebrate and happy birthday. It's exactly the same technique, and these have just been made on smaller little 5x5 cards. So I'm going to take this through and we'll do this one nice and simply. So I've got the Get Well set. What you'll find is you get the 4 sentiments in here. So happy anniversary, with sympathy, get well soon and congratulations. In the second set, which is 446, you'll get with love, best wishes, celebrate and happy birthday. So it's a good mix of using the two around. In the Get Well set, you get a plain square to cut this die out. And this will actually cut the die out or give you a backer for it. And in the 446 birthday sentiments, you get a stitched piece, which again will cut them out or cut an aperture for them to go behind. There's so many different ways you can use this. Just to bring you this card in here, beautifully made by Leslie, you can see you've got the happy birthday running all the way and making creating an entire background. Absolutely beautiful. But these are so useful for adding a sentiment to a set. So with the Get Well set, we're going to get started with something relatively simple. So what I've got is a piece of coconut white essential card, and this has been cut to 4x6. Now 4 inches is a very important measurement for these, as each one of these dies has been cut to be exactly 4 inches. So what we're going to do is lay this out on your mat using the lines on your mat, and that allows you to get it nice and even. So all I'm going to do is line this up at the top with one of the lines. This is approximately 1.5 inches up. I'm simply going to tape that down, and tape it down well. You do need to tape it down for this technique. We're then going to pop it onto our plates, and you see by making it 4x6 it will just fit in all of the A5 machines. You can, if your machine's just that little bit narrower, make it a little bit smaller, so you could make it by 4x5 3/4, but the sizing of 4x6 is a standard sort of craft size that fits the UK sort of style of crafting. Great for making, I think this would be an American A2 size, but I'm never sure. So what we do is then simply take off carefully your die, and you can see here it's actually taken both of these edges off. If you don't line it right, you might get a little line there. I don't know if you can see here, I've got a couple of little nodules. So you just take your scissors and cut those off. But there we've got, nice and simply, our Get Well Soon. Nice and clear font, easy to read. And if there's any marks from your plate, just use the Crafts 2 glue eraser to take those marks off. And then all you need to do is pop that behind a piece of card or coloured card. So what I've got here is just a piece of our wisteria card, but you can see even flat mounted, cut to exactly the same size, it just stands out. It really sort of has a strength to it. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape, as I like a little bit of depth and dimension, and I think it's important to show you how we adhere that. So I'm going to put a piece across the bottom, and I'm going to put a piece across the top so that it's nicely supported. And then to make sure this sentiment is well supported, put a piece at the top and the bottom of the sentiment so that it's nicely, so you get that depth there. You don't want it dipping down, and any scrap piece goes in the center there just to protect it. So all we're going to do is then just reveal our foam tape. Nice and easy. Again, I'm using 2mm foam tape, as I find that gives me a nice level of depth without making the card too thick to post. And this would go as a standard piece. So this would actually go as a standard postal item in the UK. So we just stick that on. You can see they're absolutely perfect. I've then got a little top fold card blank because I prefer top fold, and this has been cut to 5 by 7. So a nice standard size, fits in a standard envelope, can be posted easily. So we'll add a little bit of wet glue, and wet glue allows me to get it in the right place so I can move it around to make sure I'm happy that it's nice and even. And then to finish off, I've got some little flowers. I've made these using the Scarlet flower from the John Next Door collection, and I've put a little glass bead in the centre. So I'm going sort of either side of the sentiment, and then to finish off, I'm just going to use some of the glass dewdrops, add a little bit of glue glaze just to keep that interest level going. So we'll get a few of those randomly around. Again, adds a little bit of interest to your card or your project, and sort of really makes it pop. And there we go, a very simple Get Well Soon card in a nice small size, made just using one of the dies from the J&D 447 Get Well set.